Coming up on OU Nightly, the opening weekend of the state fair is here. The exclusive deals you can get as a college student. Plus, the CDC approves a new COVID-19 vaccine, the timeline of when you can get it on campus.
Rain is back on the radar, all timeout rain chances for you tonight. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Victoria Anderson.
And I'm Noah Mack. We begin tonight with a message for all students heading to the Oklahoma State Fair this weekend.
OU Nightly's Dakota Wapakichi has a few tips for fairgoers.
The State Fair opens with many new things for college students, and State Fair officials are ensuring they're doing their best to make everything enjoyable and safe.
So I believe this is the 116th edition of the Great State Fair of Oklahoma.
New food like a Rush Springs watermelon stand, which is grown south of Norman near Chickasha, or fried cookie dough to fairgoers. This year's fair is unlike many others. This year, the Oklahoma State Fair will host their College Days, which brings discounts to students and college-like experiences.
We're working with the OU Athletics to bring the Sooner Schooner up here and the mascots and some band activity and the Spirit Squad and stuff like that.
The standard rate of a ticket is $15, but next Thursday it will be $5 for students with their IDs. State Fair official Scott Munn says they're doing their best when it comes to safety so that you can enjoy the fair.
We work very closely with the Oklahoma City Police Department, the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office. You see there's first responders here, EMSA's here, fire department's here. We're almost like a little city here, so we need to be prepared for anything.
Security is more relaxed than that of OU's football stadium, Munn says. You can bring a backpack, but expect that it will be searched.
You know, we do what we can, but we want people to be aware.
Now the fair opens 10 a.m. daily with many discount days, just like the one next Thursday for college students. At the Oklahoma State Fair with a donut burger in my hand, Dakota Wapakichi, OU Nightly.
And before you head out to the fair this weekend, you might want to pack an umbrella.
OU Nightly meteorologist Peyton Gallion has been tracking the rain chances. Peyton, will we be seeing raincoats on roller coasters this weekend?
Well, chances are high for that. We can look at the radar right now and we can see very light showers coming into the Norman and Oklahoma City area. There's nothing severe with these storms now, but rain chances will linger through the overnight hours. And that is why temperatures out in western Oklahoma, where these storms came from, are lower than they are here in central and eastern Oklahoma. But coming up, I'm going to talk more about your fair forecast for this weekend, who sees rain this next week, and those daily rain chances we have in your forecast.
The CDC approves brand new COVID-19 boosters to fight against the newest variants. OU Nightly's Stone Weber is live to tell us when we may see those vaccines on campus. Stone?
Yeah, Noah, COVID-19 hospitalizations are up almost 9% this week, and while cases are on the rise across the country, a solution is on the way.
Cases are up nationwide. In Oklahoma, 18% of the tests that are run come back positive for COVID. That's way up. In April, May, it was down to 4 to 5%.
For Kaylee Fan, COVID-19 symptoms were nothing different than your average flu symptoms.
I will be honest, I thought it was just because, flu season starting to come. So I thought, oh, maybe I just caught the flu because I have had the flu before and it feels pretty similar. But obviously I knew that the new variant was going around and COVID cases were on the rise in Oklahoma.
The new vaccine is similar to previous boosters, but targets a new strain.
This past week, the FDA authorized and CDC recommended that all Americans 6 months of age get the new COVID booster dose, which specifically targets the types of variants that are currently circulating that are causing the cases that we see today.
Chief COVID Officer at OU, Dale Bratzler, says the vaccines will be here very soon.
So they're probably shipping them as you and I speak out to pharmacies and other places around the country. And I would expect probably by next week, you'll start to see pharmacies in Oklahoma and others, health centers perhaps, that have ordered them that will actually have the vaccines available.
While we don't have an exact date for when boosters will be available on campus, they should be available within the next 2 weeks. Reporting live from the Goddard Health Center, Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Stone. Coming up on OU Nightly, thousands of auto workers are on strike.
The demands from union workers when we come back.
And several of former President Donald Trump's Twitter DMs could come up in court.
We'll tell you what it means for his federal trial after this. Nearly 1 in 10 unionized auto workers launched a historic strike today. Spencer Tabb has that in today's national headlines from the News Center.
More than 13,000 of union members with the United Auto Workers are on strike today after a week of negotiations ended in no deal. This strike, which is currently based in Missouri, Michigan, and Ohio, could cost the auto industry billions of dollars in lost revenue. Some of the union's demands include raising wages and better worker benefits. Newly unsealed court findings show Twitter, now called X, turned over more than 30 direct messages from Trump's account to a special counsel. A search warrant was issued earlier this year in the investigation into Trump's efforts to overthrow the 2020 presidential election. Twitter originally did not comply with the order and was fined $350,000. And a jury acquits the last 3 men connected to the 2020 plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Prosecutors accused the men of supporting leaders of the plan by taking part in military-style drills and traveling to Whitmer's vacation home. Today, they were found not guilty of providing support for a terrorist act and a weapon charge. They were part of a larger group of 14 men who faced charges starting 2020. And President Joe Biden says he is focusing on his work despite his own impeachment inquiry, as well as his son's indictment. Victoria, Noah?
Today marks the first day of this month-long celebration.
It's been over 50 years since it began. Find out more about its history after the break.
And coming up, I'll tell you more about those rain chances impacting the State Fair and the OU Tulsa game. Welcome back to OU Nightly, and it is a very cloudy day once again around campus in the South Oval. You don't see that sunshine at all right now. Temperature 77 degrees. That dew point and humidity are relatively higher than we like to see due to those incoming rain chances. Now it's feeling like 77, not in those triple digits that we have had a week ago. So I will take this temperature over anything in the triple digits. Eastern Oklahoma sitting in the 80s, Central Oklahoma mid 70s, and where that rain has come through those lower 70s. So that dew point, like I just said, you can see as those storms move across the state of Oklahoma, you can see just how sticky and humid it is. Earlier today when we had these showers coming down in western Oklahoma, they were 100% current humidity levels, and that was just horrible. So once again, these storms are continuing to come across the state of Oklahoma, reaching Norman and central Oklahoma. Nothing severe with these storms. However, it's just going to be a nuisance. Well, the State Fair is back. That means these rain chances are back. And if you were heading out tonight, you're going to be dodging those stray showers every few hours. So we're going to stay in those 70s, very cloudy, and that sunshine isn't going to be in your forecast. And we have seen rain for many days. We can see in the past 24 hours, western Oklahoma and parts of Texas have picked up a decent amount of rain. Here in central Oklahoma, relatively dry, but not for long. Tonight, we're going to have these storms continuing to come in through central Oklahoma, and you can see by 3 a.m. we have this large line of storms continuing to come in. It's not going to impact anything horribly, so a few dodging rain showers for that Tulsa game. And like I said, these are lowering your temperatures. We've been in the nice 70s all week and continuing for this weekend. Very nice storms. So we are going to have another storm system make its way in the next few days, which are going to bring us rain chances nearly every day next week. Potential severe weather threat, we aren't confident right now, and that will definitely help out with this drought situation, especially in southern Oklahoma. So like I said, temperatures are going to be very nice, staying in the 80s with those rain chances nearly every single day. So this weekend, if you're heading up to Tulsa, you might have those rain chances dodging during the Tulsa game, but Sunday looks to be very clear. If you're heading out to the fair, that's like the best day you should go.
Well, I'm taking some of my friends from UT up here, and I'm going to show them the Oklahoma way, so I'll definitely go on Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow. I have never been, and I'm super excited.
Well, it'll be great either way. Thank you, Peyton.
Yes.
Today marks the first official day of Hispanic Heritage Month. The holiday runs until October 15th, covering the Independence Day of several Spanish-speaking countries.
The celebration was created back in 1968 to commemorate the history and culture of Hispanic people living in the U.S. It started out as just 1 week until 1988, when then President Ronald Reagan extended it to a month.
And OU football doesn't have to travel far for its first away game of the season.
Coming up next, our Big Friday sports team has what you can expect from Sooner sports this weekend.
Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel. It's a statewide sellout in Tulsa this weekend as the Sooners prepare to calm the storm. OU Nightly's Melina Samir is live from Gaylord Memorial Stadium with what you can expect from the end of out-of-conference play for Oklahoma.
The Sooners are taking the Turnpike to T-Town for their first road test. Tulsa is hoping to storm back from a loss, and the Sooners are seeking their undefeated streak. OU offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby has been taking some notes against this Tulsa team.
They've done a nice job in the portal as well, being able to go address some needs. They've got really good-looking guys on the back end. They're not playing a ton of guys on defense, but a group, when you watch them, man, jumps off the tape that they're playing with incredibly high motors and a lot of toughness. So it'll be a challenge as we go on the road for the first time this year.
You know, we got to actually play third down now. You know, you made a tackle for loss. Congratulations. We ran you through the A-gap. Nobody blocked you. Let's play. And just having, you know, I think having humility and confidence can go hand in hand. And having a never satisfied mindset. But the swagger and the confidence, the edge, if you will, comes from the work that you put in.
The Sooners and the Golden Hurricane kick off in the 918 tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Reporting from outside Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium, Melina Samir, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Melina. When most people think about the Sooners, they remember Barry Switzer, the king of Oklahoma football. Today is the 50th anniversary of Switzer's reign as OU head football coach in his era. He led to 3 national championships, 12 conference championships, and produced a winning record during all 16 seasons he spent at OU.
He was once in my shoes here in Norman. He now works for ESPN. At SEC Media Days in July, I caught up with OU alum and SEC Network lead host Dari Noka to find out his thoughts on his alma mater joining the conference he knows best. Alrighty, so being an OU alum, what was your initial reaction to OU moving to the SEC?
Yeah, it was wild. You hear the rumors and the stories and the reports, and you're just like, okay, that would be pretty cool.
For all things football when it comes to Oklahoma in the Southeastern Conference, SEC Network's Dari Noka has you covered. The Sooner graduate, Tulsa native, and lead anchor sees OU's conference move as nothing short of a dream come true.
It was like my personal side, my rooting interest with my professional side, and those two things can merge. That you can't beat that.
Noka now knows the SEC like the back of his hand. He analyzes games, interviews coaches and players, and recognizes why its slogan is, "It just means more."
Until I really started covering it a decade or so ago, I don't even think I appreciated how much of a grind it is. I mean, there are no off weeks. It's every single Saturday you've got to come and be your best.
Despite this difference, Noka believes Oklahoma head coach Brent Venables is doing what it takes to rebuild and survive against the big guys.
He's rebuilt the defensive front. I think he's recruiting really well on the offensive line. You're not going to come into this league and win if you are not really good on both lines of scrimmage. And I think that those are issues that he is absolutely addressing.
Oklahoma makes the big move starting in 2024. You can catch Noka on the SEC Network airing throughout the week. Reporting from SEC Media Days in Nashville, Tennessee, Kaylee Jo Hommel, OU Nightly.
Well, back over in the Big 12, it's the battle of the Big Cats as Kansas State Wildcats hit the road ready to pounce on the Missouri Tigers at 6 p.m. And one of the new kids on the Big 12 block, BYU, will travel to Arkansas and kick off against the Razorbacks at 6:30 p.m.
It's getting wild in Morgantown as West Virginia hosts Pittsburgh for this year's installment of the Backyard Brawl at 6:30 p.m. And conference play opens with college football playoff runner-up TCU heading down to H-Town to face the other new set of Cougs, Houston.
Moving on to the pros, the Minnesota Vikings faced the Eagles in Philadelphia last night. The Vikings led 7-3 until Jalen Hurts ran his iconic QB sneak into the end zone, not just once, but twice. Hurts also threw a 63-yard touchdown pass in the third quarter to Devontae Smith, leading his team to a 34-28 win at the end of the night. Hurts will go head-to-head with fellow former Sooner QB Baker Mayfield as the Eagles play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week on Monday Night Football.
Now we're going to throw it over to some Thursday night lights with Oklahoma high school football's version of one iconic rivalry. Our Brig Bates is live in the studio with this week's edition of Ballin' with Brig.
That's right, Kaylee. Joe, welcome back to Ballin' with Brig. It's the week before district play, so teams are really starting to up their game. Bad blood brewed last night in the Bedlam rivalry at the high school level. The Stillwater Pioneers head down to take on the Norman High Tigers, two cities that don't like each other. Stillwater opens up with the drive. There's a shot to the end zone, but Jaden Cooper comes through to keep it scoreless. It wouldn't take long before the Pioneers cross the plane. There's Holden Thompson, who had himself a day. He makes it 7-0 in the first. Stillwater's run game was licking their chops all night, and they kept feeding him. Thompson scores his second touchdown of the night. Pioneers lead 14-0, but Norman High Tigers roar back with a punt return touchdown as Stillwater leads 14-6 at half. Pioneers driving down the field like the Oregon Trail. Chance Accord pump fakes and finds his man Heston Thompson to make it 21-7 in the third quarter. And check out these Stillwater students holding up some Norman High t-shirts. You really don't see that often. This game was getting out of control. It's not the Ballin' with the Brig show, it's the Holden Thompson show. Look at him go, showing his speed as he goes down the sideline as he ices the game, scoring his third touchdown of the night as the Stillwater Pioneers take down the Norman High Tigers 28-6, and Stillwater gets their first win of the season, but Norman moves to 0-4. In the Ballin' with Briggs player of the game is here. Holden Thompson takes home the award with this insane stat line. Here's Thompson on being a carry machine in the Pioneers' first win.
I ask for the ball almost every play. I want the ball as much as I can, so I even know I had 30 carries, but yeah, I mean, I like the ball anytime I can. I mean, I couldn't have done this without the O-line. They were dominating today. Starting off 0-2 is not a good way to start, but gave us a lot of motivation just to get this dub, watched a lot of film, saw all the errors we need to fix, and I'm pretty sure we fixed it today. So.
And Sooners head coach Brent Venables has made it a priority to lock down in-state recruiting. Here's where some of those commits are this week. Andy Bass in the Heritage Hall take on John Marshall, while Kevin Sperry and Xavier Robinson, two OU commits out of Carl Albert, they go out west to Elk City, and Jaden Nickens and Millwood cross state lines up north into Kansas and hope to hand Scott City their first loss of the season. And finally, Chuco Taw and receiver Elijah Thompson host Eufaula at home.
Thanks, Brig. Coming up, OU softball scores another big name for the squad.
And it was the tale of two halves for Oklahoma soccer. We'll show you what happened and more coming up next.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. If you are heading up to the Turnpike to Tulsa this weekend, you might be dodging a few rain showers. We have lingering showers throughout the duration of the game, but if you're tailgating, 40% chance of rain, 75 degrees. We're going to get up into the 80s by halftime and the end of the game, but nothing like those triple-digit heat temperatures we've seen the last few weeks. Back to you.
Thanks, Peyton. OU soccer opened conference play last night with the goal of grounding the Jayhawks.
After winning their first 4 matches at home, the Sooners look to remain undefeated in their own backyard. OU Nightly's Kaylee Carnine has all the details from the rainy match.
It was the tale of two halves for OU women's soccer. Danny Wolf sent in a deflection from the KU keeper to make it 1-0 early. Leonie Weber knocked in a penalty kick, sending the Sooners to 2-0 at the half. But the Jayhawks answered the attack in an intense second half. OU tried to adjust after KU scored 2 goals, but the game ultimately ended in a draw.
It's been raining all day here in Norman, but the rain couldn't wash away their competitiveness. Ultimately ending in a tie for their first Big 12 conference game, the Sooners are looking forward to next year in the SEC.
Excited in the SEC. I spent 20 years in there, and it's a great conference and great rivalries. You can see like games like this every single night in conference play, and so I'm certainly thrilled to go back in. But we got to keep rolling here in the Big 12 here for the next 10 games.
The Sooners head north to Nebraska this Sunday to play the Omaha Mavericks. Reporting from John Crane Field, Kaylee Carnine, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kaylee. Oklahoma volleyball will play on their home court tonight at 5 p.m. for the first time this season. OU will host UCLA in a 2-game series and is hoping to serve the Bruins a double loss this weekend. Both matches will be held at McCaslin Fieldhouse.
Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hummel. Have a great night.